Hi, Juliana. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So, we have some things to work on since the last time I seen you, right? So last week we talked about SATs. We talked about where you wanted to go to college, what requirements that you needed, um, and things like that. We also talked about distractions, and one of your biggest distractions you said
Media.
was media. You being on the phone with your friends for about what 5 or 6 hours a night, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah. So, did you get a chance to cut down on any of that?
I've cut down on being on the phone a lot.
What's a lot?
I just don't reply back to text messages as fast as normal, and I don't answer the phone. Most of the time, I keep it on silent so I don't get bothered with the noise.
So you don't get bothered with the noise.
Yeah,
So, if you can, Juliana, break down your day from when you get out of school at 11 o'clock.
I go and study a bit and go to the after school program and do some work. And after a while, I just
How
go
how,
home.
how long are you at the after school program?
Probably until maybe a little over 2.
A little over two. So you got 11. So 12, 1, 2. So 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And then you go home.
Mhm.
And what do you do when you get home?
I relax for a bit and watch TV and just kick my feet up,
How long do you watch TV?
probably until maybe 6.
Till 6. Okay. So 3 hours is just hanging out.
Mhm.
That's good. That's a big decrease, 3 hour decrease in from what you were doing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about distractions. And distractions, you can see it as kind of like bad habits.
Mhm.
Um, and I understand bad habits can keep you from doing your work. Like you said, it kept you from studying or doing the best that you can in school. So I know for me, like one of my bad habits is when I'm at work, I keep my computer on and I'm always checking my emails. Nothing I just may have checked it 5 seconds ago. So do you see yourself kind of still doing that, just a little bit?
Just to see who texted me
Just
or to see who called.
if it's not that the actual best friend, you probably just don't reply.
Yeah. Or if it's my mom calling or texting me.
Then you'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I understand like we have bad habits like that, and that's kind of like what we're going to talk about today. So I'm gonna give you this sheet. I'm gonna give you that sheet. But we're gonna talk about how to break bad habits.
Okay.
Okay? And for you, what is a bad habit? What do you think a bad habit really is? Like your definition of one.
Something you do constantly that's not good for you.
Right. Something that's gonna take you off track for your goal. Right?
Yeah.
So as you look at your worksheet, the first part says what causes bad habits. And I want you to go ahead and fill those in as we have our discussion.
Okay.
So what causes bad habits? Number one is stress. And number two is boredom. So at any point when you are with your habits, do you see yourself, is it more you being stressed or is it more of you just being bored?
More of me being bored.
More of you being bored? Why do you feel that way?
Because sometimes I just want to go out and just have fun or just play video games on my phone and mess with the apps.
Mess with the app, so you have a lot of things that can actually keep your mind occupied.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about some tips for breaking these bad habits, or more like replacing them with healthy good habits. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah.
So the first one I want you to write down, or maybe let's backtrack a little bit. So we're going to talk about replacing with good habits. So the things that are keeping you from achieving goals, or you staying focused on your schoolwork or work or whatever it is that you do when you're out of school, replacing them with things that benefit you. So just to give you an idea. So number one is substitute your bad habit. Substitute your habit. And when you substitute your habit, this causes you to have a plan. Like you remember last week you had you did goal planning. You set goals last week for yourself. We talked about it. So along with that, it keeps you on track to remember. You know what? I should be doing this right now, or I know I want to go to Howard or Fisk. Those two colleges you talked about, and you look at the requirements, and if you see a bad habit, like now this is going to keep me from achieving that goal within my time frame, because December was your time for you to actually enroll. Will be your last, I think, what semester here, and then you transition into a traditional school, correct? So, and then number two is cut out triggers. So what that may mean is you may not keep your cell phone away from you, even at night when you're studying. I know one thing for me is like for me to have a good night's rest, I know I have to keep my cell phone across the room, or I'm just gonna be on it all night, like just looking at things. So for you, it would be the cell phone. And what are some things that you feel may trigger for you to be distracted?
Interesting conversation
What do you mean interesting conversations?
about, the new gossip that just, came out with students and teachers and
Teachers?
yeah,
What do you mean teachers?
what teacher is gonna get fired or what teacher is gonna quit.
Wow. Well, we know things happen in places, right?
Yeah.
Or you may see like something crazy that teacher may said in class, maybe a joke or something like that.
Yeah.
So we know that those things can keep you from doing your homework, and that was one of your big things. Number three is to change your environment. So what do you think that means? Change your environment.
Step away from the electronics.
The electronics.
Yeah.
It's kind of like stepping away from a trigger, right?
Mm-hmm.
But well, it's just some things. Just kind of like if you're doing homework in your bedroom, would you think you'll get more done, or would you get more work done at a library at school?
I'd get more work done at a library.
Why?
Because in my room, I like to have my TV on while I do homework. But I like to look up every now and again.
Right, because you figure the bedroom is for sleeping, for enjoying yourself, for relaxation. And if you're doing homework and you got the computer or maybe typing a paper, you may find yourself being like, I want to lay down maybe about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And an hour may turn into 2 or 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
And now you're procrastinating and trying to get this paper done last minute.
Yes.
Have you ever done that?
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Yeah.
Like for me, I like to work in a business space. Any place but my bedroom, because those are some of my habits. So number 4, transition yourself to think differently. So when you transition yourself to think differently, you're bringing in everything that you should be doing, right? Everything that's going to keep you on track for you to accomplish things that you may need to accomplish in that day. That's working towards your weekly goals to your bigger goals. So transition your thinking is kind of like sometimes you have to talk to yourself, like, you know what, I shouldn't do that, or I should do this.
Yeah.
So what are some words that you think you can do for yourself? Transition. What do you mean grades?
I focus on my grades. It'll help me think that maybe being on the phone and watching television isn't really gonna, help me relax.
It's not
Or just, keep me on point at, one point and the next minute I'm just distracted. So if I focus on grades, it will keep me on track.
It'll keep you on track.
Yes.
Do you ever find yourself kind of talking to yourself?
Sometimes in my head.
In your
Or
head?
out loud.
What do you say out loud?
It depends on that moment of time. Of what I'm thinking of.
Right, to complete an assignment, or have you ever shoot people away from your room when you're trying to do something?
Yeah.
What do you say?
I just tell them to go away or close the door.
Right, because you're doing homework. You don't want to be distracted.
Yes.
That's good. So right now, I want you to really think about this, and I want you to write it down. So I want you to name one thing that you feel will help you, that you're going to substitute a bad habit with. So I want you to write down one thing in that lower section.
Being inside of the school versus doing homework at home.
So being inside of the school instead of being at home?
Yeah.
So would you say that home is your biggest distraction when it's time for schoolwork? You
Yeah.
get less done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, these are some very interesting things I got a chance to share with you, and some things you got to share with me. So I love to give you an assignment. I know you have to get back to your class. I'm not gonna keep you too long. So I want you to continue to go to tutoring. Your tutoring was 2 hours a week. And you're also getting help on your reading and writing for your SAT, correct?
Mm-hmm.
With Mr. Smith?
Yeah.
Smith. So I want you to continue to cut down on your media. And do you think you can devote more time to doing work at school
Mm-hmm.
after classes? And you said 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
So let's say, so that gives you 15 hours a week. So with 15 hours a week, are you getting all your homework done?
Somewhat, yes.
Somewhat? Okay.
Getting most of it done.
So let's say 4 days, Monday through Thursday. Monday through Thursday for 3 hours, you're getting that done, and you're cutting down your media with just studying still. So you think you can do those two things? It's just something else that you can add on to what your assignment was from last week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you go back to class. Thank you, Juliana.
Oh, thank you.